whatever. How's it going, DATV viewers? Christian here, and you've got episode 7 of Boss It. I was originally intending to have a guest on, Professor B&C, but he came down with a bit of a hoarse throat, so he couldn't make it on the show. It's pretty much just me now. So another thing that I wanted to talk about today, look, on this show I cover like a wide range of topics. I mean, it should be like obvious by now. But on today's show, I wanted to talk about, this is going to be the dumbest topic ever, but I wanted to talk about cardboard. And you may be wondering, and you may be thinking to yourself, man, that is the dumbest topic ever, but hear me out here. There's been like a million boxes in the world that have been made with that stuff, and it's not often that that kind of stuff actually is worth something. I don't know why, but it is. But cardboard itself, if you're like 3 or 4 or 5, if you got a major imagination, then hey, that one piece of cardboard could be a castle. Child puns, they're great. So another thing, but that's what I don't get. Why is cardboard so useful? Well, the answer is I don't know. Because I've never actually used cardboard for any sort of like valuable thing. I mean, I'll be honest. Why even does cardboard exist? And the answer is, oh no. You can't ask why things exist if you don't have the right answer to back them up. So we can just toss that entire question out. Line of questionings, man. With me, they're crazy. All right. Anyways, another topic I wanted to talk about today is, let's see, what other one? Yes, cameras. Different types of them. They've always been the type to be the one thing that no one pretty much uses anymore. But a common misconception about a camera is that they're only good for taking pictures. Now, while I may admit that that misconception may or may not be correct, there are at least dozens of cameras out there, if not, I don't know, about a baker's dozen worth, that can only take pictures. I mean, almost all the cameras in the ATV studio they take a video right now, because how else would I be talking to you guys? I mean, we need like a bunch of pictures, like edited together to make it look like a video. Of which, that's what animation is. But I mean, you know, if I was like talking to you guys, like I had like hand movements going on everywhere, I look like a robot, and that is not the type of thing we want to have on the show. Trust me. I know. But enough joking around. Cameras themselves are quite complicated. I mean, there's about at least a few hundred companies I can think of. Like Nikon, Samsung, even Macintosh, at least that's what I think. But I mean, every single company out there has at least made at least one camera, be it prototype or for real, but either way. Cameras themselves, they're a bit of a complicated piece of work, but they're also useful. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now if I didn't have a camera. So yeah, but I mean, not only that, but most cameras are for sale nowadays. I mean, if you're interested in a couple of equipment rentals, talk to the fellas at DATV. They've got some good cameras, that's for sure. Am I right? Yeah, that's them for you. But cameras themselves, they can be used in many different ways. They can get like action shots of like someone's running down like the finish line in the last few seconds of the game. Or if they're having like a nature shot where there's like a bunch of flowers coming in from everywhere. Or if it's like a nighttime shot where they got everything going in and it's like super dark and everything. Am I right? But you know, I own a camera phone, as it were. And this little camera phone has got 2 different apps, the Windows app and Nokia app. The Nokia camera, I prefer to be one of the best because it's got many different shots. You can auto adjust them yourself, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of perks for one small camera. Wouldn't you agree? I bet you would. But I'm sure there is a couple of photographers out there in the TV studio audience, of which I quite frankly would not blame you. Well done indeed. Because people dedicate their lives to photography. They're just constantly searching around for that one shot. It's odd, isn't it? But hey, people got things that they like, and who cares if photography is one of them? I mean, I don't care. I mean, you have the things that you do, and you take a joy in it, so hey, who am I to argue, am I right? But I think the biggest thing about photography, I think the biggest thing about it is all the work, is all the hard work and the dedication that you put into it, you know? Yeah, because you put a lot of time and hard work and dedication into photography. Just constantly searching around the world just for that one good shot, that one good click. And before you know it, you got it, and you can frame it or something, or put like a meme around it. I don't know. I don't use memes, and I bet at least half of you out there in the audience don't. But that's the kind of thing you could do with cameras. I mean, they're crazy. Some of them are slightly bigger than that which you've learned to expect, like DATV's cameras. Now, I'm not saying size matters. Well, technically it does, but I've always said bigger is better, or at least that's what at least me and a couple million others have said. Man, I seem a bit small when I say that. But it's not often when you put things into proportion that when you have like the right shot, you can just frame it and then put in like, I don't know, like a thing that you do. Because it's hard to believe, but one day that perfect shot may just out of nowhere. It's crazy, right? But hey, what can I say? That's photography. All right. So another thing I wanted to talk about is inventions. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. There have been a couple good inventions in history. I mean, there was Albert Einstein. I think he invented the light bulb. There was Isaac Newton, who had discovered gravity. And I mean, that's just to name a few. But I mean, there have been a couple bad inventions out there as well. But I'm not gonna rattle those off. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not gonna. My show is not biased at all. Because I do this, and I'm not even live yet, but hopefully around episode like, I don't know, 20 or something, hopefully I am, because I really want to interact with you viewers. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Studio audiences. Every single one of you DATV viewers out there are just mind-bogglingly incredible. Because how many people watch this per day? I don't know, like 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever. No matter how many of you viewers stay up at like 5:30 p.m. to watch this, I take that to heart, you know? Because the first time I made a Windows movie, man, I'll tell ya, that thing was the worst. It was like, I was like, what am I doing? It was this, it was that. But now, I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm 15, and by now I learned how to work Windows Movie Maker like a pro, which there are not many of out there. I can respect that. But some people are pros and some people aren't. But I always say, whether you're a pro or not, you have things that you do, I have things that I do, we all have things we do, and we do them. What can I say? And, you know, at least I'm doing this. I mean, I'm sticking with this because it's really putting a spin on my life that I didn't really have once. But once I had it, I just got used to it. You know, it's weird about that, but at least I put the puzzle pieces together, and before you know it, it worked out. So yeah, you put the puzzle pieces together in your life, and before you know it, you're getting right back to it. Get right back to doing whatever you like to do best. Play a couple video games, write a book, paint a picture, whatever you do it. Because that's what I always say. And I'm not looking for any Nike cross promotions here, so don't even think about associating me with Shia LaBeouf, okay? Oh, great, I can hear the hate mail flooding in now. I'm just kidding. I swear to God, those kinds of jokes, I love them. But I find what you do in life practical. Well, at least, if you do. If you do, at least. Because you find it practical and you do that which you want to do. Because you find it practical, hey, I'm willing to expand my horizons. I'm not gonna lie here. I've at least wanted to do this stuff at least twice in life, and that ain't easy, but you know. But you know, you put the puzzle pieces together and before you know it, you're good. But everyone has the thing that they do, that they like to do. And before you know it, they just put the whole thing together and who knows, maybe they did something new in the process. But once you put it together, it's just hard to believe that you've made it that far in life. It's like climbing Mount Everest on a hot air balloon. You may have had to cut a couple corners to get there, but you did it. Isn't that the best part? Yeah, you got it done. That's the best part. Because you got it right, believe it or not. You make what you do worth the while. And it's hard to believe, but eventually it just goes together. Another thing I wanted to talk about are fans. And no, I'm not talking like one of those, the things you find in like, whatever. No, I'm talking about like human fans, you know? I'm talking about like people that support you any day of the week. I mean, ever since I was on UCAN PC, I've been a loyal fan of DATV, and it's not a surprise that these guys, they're really the type to think about this kind of stuff, because when they have at least a couple hundred fans on their side, yeah, sure. But when they have like that one true super fan, they're just ecstatic because of it. Because they know, Ron, Tyler, even Gary, they know that they'll be able to put their best foot, or in this case, f-stop forward, to bring the quality content that I'm sure every single one of you DATV viewers deserves, the likes of which we may or may not be able to find again. But when you think about it, at least that makes a lot of sense, because you've got super fans and they make your life worth living. Hard to believe, but that's how it works for me. Either way though, and personally, I'm sure it'll work for you viewers. Anyways, now I think it's about time I did an obligatory comedy segment, so yeah. What was another one I had? Oh yeah, I had a good one. How do you find out who spilled your spaghetti? You get to the sauce of the problem. Oh, that was I've been working on that one for days. What's another one? Hey, did I ever tell you about the ore miner and his ex-wife? Well, they had to cut it off. Their marriage was too on the rocks. Cold jokes, I love them. But that's 2 jokes, and rest assured you'll hear a couple others in the next episode. But for now, let's get back to the topic, or topics at hand. And another topic I wanted to talk about is customization. Now I know, you're thinking, well, what kind of aspect are you approaching about that topic? Well, hang on just a minute. Let me talk to you about it, alright? You customize things in life. There's a couple of racing games where you get to customize your cars, upgrade their engines, get some decals, etc. There are different types of recipes where if you don't have a certain ingredient, you can substitute it, There are shows like this where you can choose a different topic or whatever. But it's times like this that you really don't think about customizing anything. People are afraid of changing. I respect that. I mean, back when I was like 7 or 9, I was super afraid. But, once you put it past you, you learn to accept it. And it's hard to believe, but let me tell you, it took a long time to accept this kind of stuff. But once I accepted it, you just went on with your life. I mean, a lot of things have changed around me that I'm not really a big fan of. But the way I see it, I could care less. Because you all have, you sometimes, yeah, all of you out there, you care for things and you don't want them to change. You don't want them to leave you in the dust, as it were. But eventually it happens and you have to deal with it. But the way I see it, as long as you've got at least a couple friends behind you, they're ready to support you at any cost. Because that's dedication. You have friends that care for you. And as long as you have friends that care for you, man, anything's possible. I mean, the DATV crew and I, we're friends. We've been like that ever since the first episode I can remember of Business as Usual, which was like number 140, was it? Man, I can't even remember. But since then, ever since You Can PC, but that was way before BAU. But ever since You Can PC, I've been great friends with the crew. They're like super cool. They're about as good as you can find for a Dragate Access television crew. And these guys are an NPO of the highest order, so that's good. These guys don't care. These guys don't care about money. They care about the viewers, and not just about the view count. They care about the viewers behind them, behind the number, of which I think is a truly admirable trait, the likes of which you can't find anywhere else. Channel 5, 4, maybe not even ABC is that kind of dedication, but these guys do. They show trust where there is none when it comes to television. And in hindsight, I've got to admire them for that. So, seriously, well done, DATV. Well done. Especially to you, Ron. It's guys like you that really make my life worth living. Because guys like you just don't find them too often. Because many different reasons. Do I even need to list them all? I didn't think so. But I'm going to keep it down to 3 core reasons. Number 1, the hairstyle looks like it's out of the 90s, which is hard to replace. Number 2, you've got at least, 10, 15 years, maybe even 20 years of experience under your belt. And number 3, you're always ready for change. Like I said, that's Ron for you. Guys like him, sure, they're afraid to accept change, but once they do, they're willing to move on forward with any sort of determination they have. So Ron, listen. You're worth it, buddy. Well done, man. Well done. All right, we've got 9 minutes left here, viewers. So I think it's about time I talked about one more topic today. And that topic is... Hey, Tyler, if you're in the room, this one's for you, buddy. This one is editing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, what we need editing? Come on, I got like crystal clear quality. I'm good. I just put this stuff on YouTube and man, everyone's gonna get to see it. I got the 1 million viewers, diamond play button, blah, blah, blah. Now what to do? Well, hear me out here, hear me out. Editing is a good thing to use when like your videos are like low quality or something. It's hard to believe, but editing could be successful. And by could be, 99% chance of it being successful. The 1% is like a sudden glitch that was catastrophic enough to crash your computer, effectively erasing it. But that is a worst case scenario and a half. Oh my god. But look, editing itself complicated, yes. The entire crew here uses Final Cut Pro, an editing service of which they've almost banked their entire career on. But I can definitely say it's been paying off. And I was never the type to use Final Cut. I'm strictly a Windows man. These guys are all Macs. But look, hey, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone has their type of computer that they use, and they make sure to use it. So, can they truly be blamed? The answer is no. Everyone has their own different style of editing. Like, say they want to add like a transition here, a bit of like another graphic there, maybe even some sparkles up there. But you have editing, and you do it the way you like to. And you just put it together. I mean, there's always like the beginning, like the middle, and the end, like generical stuff. But what about all the stuff in between? There's gotta be like quality content right there. But in all seriousness though, it all depends on how you make it. If you make it good, that's great, that's great. You got a good show. If you make it horrible, then in that case, yeah, no, you pretty much just toss that thing. But if you make it worthy of an Emmy, yeah, man, chances are you're gonna get nominated for just that one thing. But like I said, horrible and Emmy are just good and worst case scenarios. Best and worst case scenarios. But the way I see it, either could happen. Life's unpredictable. What do you expect? But in the end, at the end of the day, I really think what editing really could be is, well, before I end this off, I wanted to talk a little bit more about editing. Editing itself is a complicated project. Project. I meant process. That's the word. Although sometimes it can be a project. But I mean, it all depends on three different core standards. Number one is the complexity of the video that you're editing. Number two is what kind of quality it is. If it's 720 HD, you're good to go. If it's 144, you need to reconsider the options. But in all seriousness though, number three is the ultimate core part. And that is what you put into it. And now I know what you're thinking. Hey, what, didn't you say that already? Well, hey, calm down there. No, in reality though, editing has always been stuck on those three core parts, the likes of which you may or may not be able to get if you have good or bad, or operative word being good, but in quotation word being bad editing skills. Because I'm sure at least, a couple hundred of you DATV viewers out there have incredible skills, to which of that I say, well done. But for all of you out there that don't know how, well, that's all right. But good news is, if you don't know how to edit, that's not a problem. The guys at DATV, they host summer classes every, couple months. And they'll help you with editing and filming and shooting. You need help with editing or any of that, these guys are the guys to go to. Because they know their stuff. They know their way around a camera like I know my way around a hoagie. I swear to God, I haven't said that word in a long time, so, nostalgia points. 25, I guess. But real seriousness, though. These guys have summer programs of which they can help you out with the editing and the fixing up and the shooting and the cropping as well. Crop like a couple of pictures in. So if you guys are interested, head to the datv.com website and you'll be able to find out when those events occur and who will be hosting as well. By the way, spoiler alert, 70% of these are Ron. 70% of these are hosted by Ron. The other 20% is like by the crew. But either way though, the way I see it, who cares? The entire crew themselves have really put their life's work into the studio. And while I may admit that they're still looking for, bigger space and whatever, but look, the point is, you have the things that you care about, and the way I see it, you care about it, I'm willing to expand my horizons, as I've said. And these guys, like I said, they care about the viewers behind the view count number. They've cared about that since 1990 or something? I can't tell. But either way, these guys, ever since they started this place, they knew that which was going on. And they knew that TV was in a, I don't want to use this word, but I'm going to do it anyway, a very weak state. Operative word being weak. Because, sure, TV has been strengthened every now and again. Nowadays they got curvier TVs. And back in the 1990s or something, television itself was real basic, like RGB and whatever, but back then everything was just great, like nothing. Oh yeah, it was 4, 5, and 7. Nowadays we got those mega packages from Dish or DirecTV, And we got all those new TVs, like smart TVs and whatever. And I mean, there's even operating systems that were thrown into your TVs, like the Xfinity X1 OS, which I think is the best innovation yet. We got 2 minutes here, viewers, so I'm going to talk about one more topic for today: innovations. As I just said, the X1 operating system is quite the best out of all of them, because you not only get to watch your own show, and you get to watch stuff that wasn't even out yet, or at least a couple of them, but you can also browse the internet on your television. Now, I will admit, some video game consoles let you do that, such as the PS4 and the Xbox One, but the Xfinity X1 operating system delivers a quality like no other. And I'm not doing any cross promotions here. I did one for DATV, but I'm not doing one for Xfinity. That's taking it too far, at least in my standards. But in any case, it's things like that, the innovations like that, that really make you stop and wonder, can I do that? And the answer is yes. You all have innovations that you have stuck in your mind. And sure, some of them don't come into fruition, but when they do, oh man, I tell you, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, I've still got a couple ideas in my head. I mean, it's hard to believe, but one day, those ideas of yours will become an incredible reality. So the next time you're walking down the street and you see like a big advertisement for something that's like huge or like brand new, just look at it and wonder, can I do something like that? You don't have to wonder, because the answer is yes. We all have things we can do. It all depends on 3 things: energy, dedication, and some materials. Anyways, we've only got 1 minute left here, so I'd like to say a few closing words. Altogether, life is a complicated thing, but once you know how to augment it to your reality, you know what to do. You know how to make it work. In the words of Adam Savage from Mythbusters, I reject your reality and substitute my own. But hey, that's what some people do sometimes. Anyways, 29 seconds left here. Actually, I meant that 25. So, in closing, I'd like to give once again a special thanks to the Drake and Access Television crew, because they always know how to deliver a town voice, and once again, a extra special thanks to all you DATV viewers and my family. You've brought me where I am today, and without you, I don't know where I'd be. Thanks for watching, viewers. This is Christian Ramos, and before things get any crazier, I'm out of here. So long.